Heyo, Kim and Cuddles the Iron Defender here. To do a new tutorial, we're going to teach you how to do the Crucible. And not only how to do it, but to actually solo it if you should so want to do. So we're going to hop in and get started right away. And we're just going to do normal so that we're not distracted by the mobs. We just want to show you how to do it. Cuddles being his helpful self and destroying all the boxes for us. Don't really need the buffs, but whatever, just have it.
You are greeted by growls, insults, and mocking laughter from the veterans of the Storm's Fist Horde.
Now, the first thing you can do is talk to some of these NPCs and do some social checks. But you often need fairly high skills in order to get any value out of them. Lucky roll there. Now, if you talk to the Gnoll, he sends you over here to talk to Gorn Gutchewer about this map you purportedly stole. And then after you talk to Gorn, you can go back and talk to Gnoll Daggertooth and bluff him.
Jorgundal, the commander of the Storm's Fist, sneers
Then
at
you just talk to Jorgundal. Come on. Tell him that you'll warn his lackeys, and then when you're done talking to them and smashing all the boxes and so forth, you tell him, I am set on my course. And all of the dudes come up and get ready to go through the door. Now, I do this every single time. I forget that they're going to run through the door first and try to run through. But you'll see that if you do that, you can't actually get through the door this time. They go through. And then after they disappear around the corner, Jorgundal opens the door for you and you can go through and start smashing all these boxes. Thank you, Cuddles. Kill all these guys. Now, I find when I do this that most people have trouble with this maze at the beginning. It's actually really simple. You see that guy runs through and he wakes up a bunch of guys who come through and attack you. But the first thing you want to do is you just come through here and you follow this right-hand wall. That'll take you here to the eye lever, so called because there's an eye above it. And the eye lever changes the position of the eye gates. See, here's an eye gate. They're all helpfully labeled. So I've got... Now, in order to solo this, you will need a hireling, and one of the things that you need to do while you're using your hireling to open the gates is that you need to turn off your auto-targeting and make sure that it says it's disabled. And depending on what your habits are for playing this game, you might need to suppress your habit of using the Q and E keys to target things, because if you lose targeting on that valve, you cannot get your pet to open the doors for you. Kill that guy real quick. We've got Cuddles set on the door. So we'll just have him. Now, you don't need to have your pet do this, or your pet or hireling or whatever do this. Come on, Cuddles. Stay by the door like a good dog. You don't need him to do it for this first one. As you can see, you can just run in here and easily get it. But what you need to do is that while you've got your auto-targeting off, you have to make sure that you click on everything that you interact with so that it doesn't interrupt what you have targeted with your focus orb. So we've got that done, and I'm going to come over here and see if I can put it in.
Beyond the barred gate,
There's 3
a
crests.
crystalline
The
horn
crests are
rests
randomized. So sometimes the bat crest will be in this location, sometimes the snake crest, sometimes the scorpion crest, which means that you might have to run around a little bit more depending on which crest actually spawns in which location. So we're going to have... Oop, I lost targeting on the valve. This is the important part where you have to be careful not to lose targeting on the valve if you're soloing, because otherwise you're going to need a dimension door to get out of that room up here. This room that's behind this door right here. And if that happens, there's a level 11 fighter hireling called Mikhail the Bias that you can get on the DDO store for about 40 points. He has dimension door. So if you're unlucky and you get stuck, you can buy that hireling and get yourself out. Or you could just use, D-Door normally. But it's better just to make sure that you don't do any tab targeting or anything, and that was silly. Let's try this again. Helps if you're actually, So we have Cuddles let us back out. Oh, I hope he's not getting attacked. But he seems to be behaving himself for now. Alright, and now this is one of the tricks to doing this the easy way. You see how you can target that scorpion socket through the wall here? Well, if you scooch up close to the wall, you can actually put the crest in through the wall there. So now we've got those 2 crests done, and both of them are in their sockets, so now we only have one more to do, and that's the K crest. So we'll tell Cuddles to come with us. Good boy, Cuddles. And then we continue to follow this right-hand wall. You do want to smash all the breakables because there's a lot of XP in this quest. And we just tell him to hang out here at the K valve. And this is another one where you got to be careful not to break your targeting on that valve, because he does need to let you back out again after you've gone in here. But it opens this door. Hit it a second time to open the door one more time. Make sure that you click on the crest instead of tab targeting it, or Q and E targeting it. Hit the valve one more time to let yourself out. And then we just follow the left wall. Around to get us to where Cuddles is again. And then we just take a right around here, and there's the snake socket. Put that in, and you're done with the maze. So it's really simple. You just follow the right wall at the beginning, follow the right wall again to get to the K lever, go around the corner, do the K lever, and then you follow the right wall, or the left wall, to get back to where the K lever is and get to the middle of the maze and finish. Really, really simple. It's not at all difficult, but people make a lot of drama out of it. You want to make sure that you stand on the middle here. If you cannot disarm these traps, some nasty like fire and acid jets will come out and hit you when you take that horn, so you want to jump off very quickly. Now, we haven't quite got this set correctly. We need to go hit the I lever one more time. These guys just keep coming up. So you hop here to the middle, you go over here on the east side, and you just hit this I valve one more time. Don't do it at the beginning. You have to do it after you've done all the stuff over on the K side. But now that we're done, we can go straight out the north, and you see there's an H gate that's already open. We didn't touch H, so it's been like that. I gate's open. Little fight here.
Next to the door has a hole where its horn used to belong.
Put the horn in the head, and then we go left around the corner. There's a current in this water, so it helps to jump because it's swimming against it is very, very slow. Now I'm going to show you a little thing. I'm going to put Cuddles there for a second. If you go under the water and swim back here, back behind where we came out, see there's a grate you don't want to go through. But there's a valve over here which turns off the current. So if you don't feel like swimming against the current, you can turn that valve and it makes it much easier to just go ahead and get up this waterway. So we rejoin Cuddles. We tell him you can attack now if you feel like it. Now here's our second trial. Cuddles went up in the door. He loves to smash those boxes, so while he's busy doing that, I'm going to come down here and talk to Gatekeeper Gratz. If you talk to this guy, sometimes you have to talk to him several times because he doesn't trust you immediately on meeting him. But if you talk to him, you can do a diplomacy check, and what he does is he steals Dagger's Tooth's armor. Checking to make sure Cuddles isn't acting up. But I'm going to hop in here. You just pull this lever and run in, and it's helpful but not mandatory if you jump up on this barrel there, and then you can jump around the traps. I'm not particularly worried by these traps. It's normal and I've got way more hit points, but you have to get through this door in the time limit, which is very short. You see, we'll watch and it'll shut. There, see? You don't have a lot of time, but you need to get through that door and come up here and grab this horn.
Here, apparently unguarded.
And then a bunch of traps will, you know, fire. Which can be dangerous. It's a good idea to have evasion, but you can generally survive these traps even if you don't have evasion these days. They are not nearly as bad as they used to be back in the day. We summon Cuddles to us, put the horn in the door. Now if you let Gatekeeper Gratz go on ahead of you, he will helpfully break out the floor, because the floor up here falls away in places. Which can make it dangerous to do this part if you can't see where you can jump safely. But if you let him go ahead of you, he will bust out the floor. Now this part up here, people don't do this the way you're supposed to do it, which sometimes causes problems. If you're solo, you pretty much just have to brute force it. But what you have is you have 6 doors, and they are labeled. You see on the floor, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they are labeled. And if you click on this Tomb of Instinct, you get this. Now this is just nonsense. It's meaningless. And you sense that the 4th door hides death. Which means that if we were to click on door number 4 over there, it would be trapped. What you're supposed to do is you can have up to 3 people click on that book, and if they have a sufficiently high wisdom score, you can get up to 3 of the doors eliminated, because it'll say something like, you sense that death is nearest the entrance, or that sort of thing. And you're supposed to use process of elimination to get a really accurate guess of which door it is. Now what you can also do is, if your wisdom, mine is way too high, but if your wisdom is 8 or below, it will tell you a wrong message, which essentially means that it's telling you which door is not trapped. It's telling you that there is a trap on the door that isn't trapped. So what people would often do is bring someone along who has really low wisdom, have them figure it out, and they instantly know what door it is. We only know that the fourth door is trapped. So we're going to go ahead and try door number 1 here. And oh look, it was a wrong guess. Too bad. Pretty much the only way to do this these days is just to brute force it. Because it resets which door is the correct door after each time.
The test of instinct has reset.
And when you're not with a group, you don't really get enough good information out of reading that thing to even hazard a good guess. Yes, Cuddles, it's a trap. Don't have to go stand in it. I know you have evasion, and I don't.
The test of instinct.
Oh, he wants to break the things. Okay. Okay, Cuddles, go ahead and bust all the stuff. Oh, there we were lucky. It only took us a few tries. So we've got the horn. Now you notice Harza Ghostwaker is here. That is a result of doing the diplomacy check with the other hobgoblin at the beginning. He betrays the Harza Ghostwaker and Harza guy's there. If you don't do that, Harza will be present at the final fight, and he is a spellcaster and a healer. Now we're back at the maze, but we're on top of it. The first thing you want to do is to pull this lever, which lowers some ladders, so that if you fall, you can climb back up by coming up here to the north end of the maze and going up those ladders. These guys will cast Sleet Storm at you, which makes it very easy to fall off if you don't have freedom of movement. So if you're doing this solo, it's generally wise to make sure that you have a freedom of movement or immunity to slippery surfaces so that you don't get knocked off by the elementals. It's hard enough to just jump. Without having slippery surfaces to deal with. Alright, now we've killed all the gnolls, it looks like. Is there one over here? No, I guess that was it. We are doing this on normal, so I guess there's slightly fewer. But what I like to do is that I like to come over here, and you still need to make sure that your auto-targeting is disabled. Wait, what's attacking now? Is there a guy down in the maze? Yes, there is. Not anymore. So I'll set Cuddles on the blue rune reel. And there's a very easy shortcut way to do this. We need to set these 3 wheels. And this lever over here tells us what the wheels need to be set to, but there is a time limit. It's not super short. You do have time to set multiple wheels yourself if you need to. And there is a trick to doing this to make it super easy. If you look, each of these gems corresponds with a turn of the wheel. So the first one is 0 turns, and then you have 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns, 5 turns. So when you see the colors, you know how many turns you need to do for the wheels. So I'm going to pull the lever, and we're going to do this. So blue needs 2 turns. See? 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to have Cuddles turn it twice. And see, red is conveniently on 0 turns, so green is the only one we need to do, and it is 5 turns. So we're going to go over here in the green one, and you see the corner is slightly lit green, so it's easy to tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As the puzzle
and ta-da, we're done.
Place, a loud gear grinds in the southeast corner of the room. The path forward is open.
Now, if you don't get it done the first try, which sometimes happens, you can just reset everything so that it's still very easy to tell. So anything that you did turn, you just turn it enough more times to get, 6 total turns, and it's back to the original setting. So here we are. This is the swim portion. This is our final trial. And you want to open this door because this door lets the person who does the swim get back through easily. So we're going to post Cuddles by the door. We're going to set him on Be Patient and Wait.
The rush of swift
Now,
water
the swim
emanates
is
from
actually not that
below.
difficult these days, and you can do it without evasion. I'm going to do it without evasion. People get scared of it, but it's not really that difficult. And there is a secret down here that you can get, and most people don't even bother with. So you are probably going to take damage from this first fan there. And then you just kind of, the easiest thing to do is when you see a safe wall like this, you just hug the safe wall. And that will enable you to avoid most of the spikes. Not always perfect. There is a current here that pushes against you, but you just keep pushing toward the safe wall and you will usually be fine.
A lever juts from
So
the
here's a
base of the
fan.
wall on your right.
Now this valve, if I remember correctly, turns that fan off. Yeah, see? It turns the fan off. So it reduces the current temporarily, but it pops back on again shortly.
The swift current churns as it makes its
This
way
is where
around
we have to
several
swim
stone
through.
obstructions.
You come up here. There's a few more boxes to break. And then a
glittering
bunch of
pile
gnolls to fight.
treasure is surrounded by agitated
Just knock them out. Now you see Windlasher here, but behind him, don't touch the treasure. The glittering treasure will give you nasty disease if you touch it. But you see there's a gold key here. If you take that key, it leads to a secret that is back the way you came in. So it does mean you gotta swim against the current for a bit, which is long and tedious. It shuts off periodically, and that's when you can make progress. And then you come back here and pull this lever. And that briefly shuts off the fan, but it also opens a passageway behind this fan. And you hop up here in this little secret room and use that gold key to unlock this chest. And a named item actually drops in the chest. I forget it. It's like the bracers of swimming or something like that. But it has interesting swimming abilities on it. So you pull the valve to open the passageway and stop the fan again. And then we just swim along. Back through these spikes. Get nicked a couple times, not a big deal. And then through these 3 gates. And through this final fan, which will probably hit you for damage again. If you're doing this on a higher difficulty, make sure you heal up in the room with the gnolls. Also, you can drink potions underwater. So if you have DDO stroke potions or silver flame potions, you can use those underwater to heal yourself up. And I believe lay on hands also works underwater. So we come back here, and instead of going down toward the swim, we come over here to the head. We put that in, we summon Cuddles and tell him, have fun. You just fight down this hallway. You have to kill absolutely every one of these guys before the gatekeeper will talk to you and let you into the arena. But I don't need to shrine, so I'm going straight into the arena. If you don't need to shrine and you're with a group, it can be helpful to go ahead and talk to the gatekeeper and go into the shrine directly while other people shrine, because Krogan the Bugbear talks for a little while.
Your champions survived their trials. You all
And
won
that
your
gives
place
him
in
time
the
to finish his
horde.
chat before the rest of the
Now
people in the
these
party get through,
maggots must
so
do
that
the
you can just do the
same.
fight and be done.
The new recruits will be harried by dagger-tooth,
So you see there's only 3 guys
fighting naked
instead of 4
in
because
confidence.
we got Harzak
They
Ghostwaker
will
killed.
be hammered by Gorn Gutchewer. He's not just crazy. He's a blood-guzzling champion of the dragon below. And they'll face the leader of the Clovenjaw Hobgoblins, Vral the Treacherous, in his first solo battle. Lord Jorgandal wants no weaklings in his horde. Can these soft-looking traitors to Stormreach survive the arena of power? Today, the Storm's Fist horde. Let the battle begin.
You know, you notice that each of them drops a key when they die. They may also drop treasure bags, but they also drop a key. And that's how you get your end loot. You come out here and talk to Jorgandal, make sure you've got your Voice of the Master on before you talk to him, because this is when you get your big chunk of XP. It's not going to be much for me, because I'm legendary.
Now let's explore it.
And then you can use the keys to unlock the 3 chests out here. And we are done. That is the Crucible. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in game.